Hi everyone. Are you someone who is interested in growth and expansion of wisdom and goodness in your life? My name is Lanora Lennon, and I help people shift into a paradigm of possibility. And today we're going to talk about 3 ways to start changing your life. If you're watching this video, I am certain you have already changed your life for the better in many ways. Maybe you've had some setbacks, but you are already familiar with the idea of change. We can kind of forget how hard it can be if we've gone into a period of kind of leveling off, which is normal. But then life calls us to make a change, again, a paradigm shift. And that is what my channel is all about, shifting your paradigm. So I happened upon an interview with Thomas Hertog, who is one of Stephen Hawking's closest collaborators. Stephen Hawking, in case you didn't know, was a theoretical physicist, cosmologist, and author of the groundbreaking bestseller, A Brief History of Time. Look him up. So on CBC Radio, they interviewed, that's the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, they interviewed this Thomas Hertog, and he was discussing about his new book that is Stephen Hawking's final theory that actually it's not as well known, but the theory that Stephen Hawking became famous for from the book A Brief History of Time, it got to a point where in his research and with this Thomas Hertog, they realized that the paradigm was shifting and there was new information that basically put the old information to bed. Don't quote me on this. I'm what's the word? Paraphrasing on the conversation, but that's the gist of it. So in this interview, Thomas Hertog talks about the paradigm shift. You build up to this. The model that you're working with doesn't work. And at some point, one of the key assumptions must go. You're getting into such a paradigm crisis that one of the key assumptions of your current paradigm must go, and you need to shift into the new paradigm. So things commonly have to get pretty clearly not working for you anymore in order to start to have the real, true gut motivation to make a change. So if there's an area in your life that you're wanting to change, but you just haven't yet, maybe it's not gotten bad enough for you yet. So if it sucks, consider that a good thing. And it's just going to start to suck and suck and suck more until you're finally ready to make a fucking change. Right? So, but it doesn't mean that you can't start to look at these things. So, what I would suggest for the first thing is to discern what it is you want to change. Make a list for yourself. There's really common areas where most of us want to make changes. Loneliness is a huge one. Financial situation, fitness level and health, any other area, write them down. Just make yourself a list so that it's clear. Have it in print. Make it, take a blank piece of paper and make a list, and then maybe make a kind of a finalized list that's a little prettier, and post it somewhere where you can see it. If there's another way that makes sense to you to do such a thing, to start to discern where you want to make these changes, fine, do it your way. But I find the best way is to have it in big print and post it somewhere for yourself. So that's the first step to making a change in your life, to simply discern what it is that you want to change. And it's not just all these ideas floating around in your head. So for me, I'm going to share my example of my fitness journey that I do talk quite a lot on my channel. I'm not a weight loss channel, but the fitness journey for me has been more about feeling better. And the more I exercise, the better I feel. Because if you don't, it doesn't even matter at all what you look like. If you don't feel good, you're not going to, what's the point of anything else, really? So start experimenting with ways to change. Pick one of those things on your list, or, pick a few of them and where you can take actionable steps, that you can start to chip away at them. So you don't have to do it all at once. Just accept that it's going to be a journey. That's where this one day at a time mindset is so important. I've mentioned it before. Chipping away. One of my fellow YouTubers uses the term, just move the needle a little bit. Even if you don't move the needle every day, that's fine. So once you've chosen what you want to work on, and experiment with ways to change. So using my fitness journey as an example, I knew I needed to be at a gym. I don't do well working out at home alone. I very much get motivated by others around me. And not only that, I knew I needed to go to fitness classes because I get really bored and in my head if I'm just exercising alone. So I tried one place called Fit Club, and it was awesome, really fun, but very expensive. And I started to feel a little bit like, after going there for a few months, it kind of wasn't quite the right fit for me. Maybe I don't need to go into the details of why, but I know it's a very successful gym here where I live. But I just knew it wasn't the right fit for me. And so I decided to try something new. So I tried another, renowned fitness facility in the city that I live in. And I tried it for a while and it was okay. But I noticed, it was mostly senior citizens, which I very much enjoy the company of senior citizens, but being a single person and also looking to expand my social circle, I kind of felt like it wasn't quite the right fit for me. Not that I'm going to the gym to find a partner, but friendships for sure. And I just found I didn't care to be, honestly, a lot of the older men there didn't mind staring, and I didn't appreciate that. I didn't like being in that environment. Not, I'm sure they were harmless enough, but that doesn't work for me. And I'm sure some of them probably weren't harmless enough, actually, to be perfectly frank. So I tried another gym, and so I actually ended up at a gym that I used to teach yoga at, and I've talked about it before, and it like I've said, it's not the perfect fit for me, but I feel good. I feel good. I like the classes. I don't love the classes. Sometimes I love the classes, but it works for me. It's accessible. This is an area where you want to take the path of least resistance. So perfectionism, you want it to take a back seat here. I mean, you want to feel comfortable and inspired, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Um, so, and to top that off, I ended up actually getting offered to teach yoga there. So whatever it is that you want to experiment with, trust your gut. Trust your gut. Give it a good try, but don't stay too long if you feel that it's time to move on and try something different. And only you are going to know that. And the way you can gauge that is to notice if your energy overall is being expanded or if your energy overall is being depleted. And stick with it for an appropriate amount of time. I'd say maybe try things on for a month at a time. And then if it's not working after that, move on. But don't quit. Move on. Choose a next thing to experiment with. So, and that brings us to never give up. So with my gym experience, even though I found a place that fit me well enough, my 1 year anniversary came up from the gym, and I realized it's really only in the last few months that I've been going much more consistently. I had been consistently inconsistent for the past year, but I didn't give up. I kept going. Sometimes it would feel a little embarrassing because there's a lot of people there who are very committed. And then there's a lot of people there like me who kind of keep getting up, dusting themselves off, and trying all over again, even if you fall away from the whatever it is that you're wanting to change. Don't give up. Keep showing up for yourself, even if you've let it slide for a while. And eventually, that how is it put? The key assumption that isn't working anymore is gonna go. So for me, more recently, I've had a lot of change going on in my life, and I guess the key assumption of certain supports that I thought I had and are not in place have driven me to want to be better and do better for myself. And I know how I can do that is to exercise, and the more I exercise, the better I feel. Of course, there's the argument of over exercising. I don't think I'm ever going to have that issue personally. That's a whole other thing. So of course you don't want to be overdoing anything as well. Be mindful of that middle way. So steps to changing the things in your life you want to change. Discern what it is you want to change. Start experimenting with ways to change, and never give up. One day at a time. Keep showing up for yourself, even when it's been a while since you have. I'm going to offer you a little bonus support here in this path, as I do largely speak about spiritual endeavors on my channel. And one of the really lovely supports that I brought in for myself, and I welcome you to try on, is calling in Archangel Michael and what I've come to know is the twin flame. They're twin flames, Archangel Michael and Archangel Faith. So I calling on Archangel Michael, calling on Archangel Faith, and I'll visualize them. I do this at the gym when I'm struggling, and I'll feel their presence come, and I'm buoyed up right away. You really don't even need more than that. Calling on Archangel Michael, bring your sword of light to energetically disconnect me from what's no longer serving me. Calling on Archangel Faith, bring the spirit of faith, hope, and trust into my heart and mind. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Archangel Michael and Archangel Faith. And you can just continue repeating that. You can just repeat the calling on Archangel Michael, calling on Archangel Faith. Thank you for your support. Thank you for buoying me up. Thank you for supporting me as I move forward to expand and change for the better, to be a better version of myself, to serve those around me, and to give me a more nourishing and what is the word I'm looking for? Rich experience of life. Thank you, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please like. Thank you for liking, and thank you for subscribing to my channel, and also please share with anyone you think may be inspired. Comment below with your challenges or successes with change in your life. Have a peek at this video here or this video here. Namaste.